All right. Before I start talking about this song and breaking it down for you, this is something that I've been wanting to do for some time now, and just start a new kind of maybe a series or just a number of videos where I take a song or even a whole record and just break it down and talk about the different parts that make up the sound of the song or record, and just play you a part of the song, or maybe listen to the whole song and just sort of stop and start and talk about what we're hearing and just my take on the song and what it means to me. And maybe I might point something out to you that you've never heard before or haven't listened for. I'm going to try to stick to songs that people know, or at least are somewhat iconic in some way or another. That doesn't mean that it's going to be all pop songs, because this first song is not certainly not a pop song, anything but. So this is absolutely this song that I'm going to talk about today is called Some Skunk Funk by the Brecker Brothers. And I'm going to play you the cut that's off of the album Heavy Metal Bebop. And this is admittedly just a complete guilty pleasure of mine, this whole record. It's fusion at its apex, I think. It is just jazz fusion in the highest form. And possibly the densest form as well. There's so many notes being played. I can only imagine what it must have been like to witness this live, this live concert. Because this album, Heavy Metal Bebop, is predominantly a live concert, except for the first track. The rest of the album is live. So, without wasting any more time, let's just get into it. I'm going to start the track, and I'll just be aware that along the way I may stop it and talk about some things and restart and what have you. I do have a copy of the real book version of this song pulled up here on my computer screen, and you can probably download that in the link below in the comments section, or in the link section of this video. But there's some things that I want to talk about that are in regards to the chart that's provided, and so we'll get there. So for now, this is Some Skunk Funk live by the Brecker Brothers from the Heavy Metal Bebop record. Here we go. One, two. Cowbell. Okay, let's stop right there. So that was the full head in its entire form. And there's some things. Let's just address some things. First of all, it's Terry Bozzio on the drums, who is just absolutely slaying. And this is, I want to say, this is from 1978, at least according to Apple Music. So this is pre Frank Zappa years for Bozzio. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. You know, that's worth a look, actually. Let's take a look and see. Terry Bozzio, Frank Zappa years. 75 to 78. Okay, so I'm wrong. I'm not, so I, just FYI, I'm not the hugest Frank Zappa fan. Like, there's some things I really, really like, but I never really got heavily into Frank Zappa. So pardon my French when it comes to the timeline of Frank Zappa in regards to Terry Bozzio in his drumming for Frank Zappa. Okay, so Terry Bozzio played for Frank Zappa from 1975 to 1978. So that's some good information. So this, like I said, this record is dated at 1978. So I guess he's done with Zappa, or at least near being done with Zappa. So, but all this to say, Terry Bozzio is just absolutely at the peak of his playing, in my mind. I mean, he is just on fire. Insane. Like the staccato notes, the funkness of it, the tightness of it, his chops, his hands are in such condition. You can tell he's just slaying it. And this is pre like China cymbal Terry Bozzio. This is pre all the spokes, the Remo spokes that Bozzio got into like in the 90s, and with the crazy wild haircuts and the all black and the tank tops and stuff, which I also love that period of Terry Bozzio for different reasons. But this is Terry Bozzio just shining in a way that is unmatched. So that's the first thing, okay? This is such a funky tune to start with. Like the head is just so funky and so well written and syncopated, and it's just so fun to play. Now, I mentioned the Real Book head chart, and I want to bring it up because I was looking, because I could detect that the whole thing wasn't necessarily in 4/4, and I was right. However, the Real Book chart, if you look at it, it's wrong. It's just downright wrong. When the head starts, ow, that last note, ow, is the new 1 of a 7/8 bar. Or rather, the previous bar to it would be 7/8. Ow, 2, 3, 4. Let's listen to it again and let's count it. Okay, I'm going to start it from the beginning and we're going to count it. Now, look along, download this chart and look at the music. Or if you have your Real Book handy, open up to page 398, I believe it is, 398, and see for yourself. Let's start it again from the top. We're going to count. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can even hear Terry Bozzio's hi-hat give you the new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't, and then they are in on the, and then it's back to 4/4. So that last note, that last eighth note that you see in the chart of measure 4 is really the new 1 of the neck of a 4/4 bar. The notes preceding it in that bar are actually a 7/8 bar. So the chart is totally wrong right there. There's some other little discrepancies in the chart too, but nothing is quite as glaring as that. At least I don't think so anyway. There is at letter B in the music, there is a 7/8 bar written though. So let's just hear that again. So you can. I just want to play that again. All right, and I'll let it play after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in 4/4 here now. All that tight. Short, short. That was a 7/8 bar right there. There's that 7/8 bar again. All right, so now we're in the Mike Brecker's solo. Listen to that triangle. What, did you hear those flams that Terry Bozzio played? That was so influential to me. You know, I want to bring you back a little bit to when I first discovered this record. I was in high school at the time, and I had a great band director by the name of Peter Giroux, trumpet player from upstate New York. And he was the one who hit me to this whole album. In fact, he was so cool that he brought these records into our music theory class. Yes, I had 2 years of music theory in high school. And at some point during one of the classes, we were talking about music history and the progression from, you know, jazz bebop into post bop, hard bop, all the cycles that jazz went through, and we finally got to jazz fusion, and he brought in his own records to play for us in the class, and I was so knocked out when he played the whole class this record, and I was like, floored. I mean, I had never heard music like this. It was insane. It was this record. It was Al Di Meola, Casino, the Casino record by Al Di Meola. There was Steps Ahead. There was a Steps Ahead record. I want to say it was a live record, live in Japan. Maybe like one other too. I can't remember. But this record, this heavy metal bebop record, absolutely destroyed me when I was in high school, and so much so that I think that he must have seen it in me, and my band director, Mr. Giroux, let me take his records home with me, like 3 or 4 records, and I using my father's turntable, because we're talking about records here, okay, vinyl. My father had a record player, and I brought them home, and my father copied these records onto tapes for me so that I could practice along to these records. And Heavy Metal Bebop was one of these records. And it was so, so influential to me. And it's, to this day, it is so near and dear to my heart. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about how important that was to me, and how significant that was to me, that my band director would allow me to do that. And I took those records home, and I probably had them for about a week before I brought them back. You know, I think he was probably worried that I wouldn't bring them back, but I did, and I brought them back, you know, completely in great condition. And I was just ever so grateful, and I am ever so grateful for him to do that for me. How important was that for my development as a musician, as a drummer, as a jazz musician, as a fusion jazz musician, as just as a developing musician overall, to hear music like this and to wrap my head around it and understand where it's coming from and how to implement it into my playing. So enough about me. Let's get back into the record. I just wanted to say, there's an important history with me for this record, and it's just so near and dear to me. So I'm very, very passionate about it, and hopefully you probably can see that. So yeah, let's keep going here. Check out did you hear the triangle part that's being played? I don't know who's playing percussion on this. I could Google that real quick. Let's see here. Heavy metal, bebop album. Let's just see what Wikipedia says. Who's on this? Personnel. Okay, so Randy Brecker, obviously Michael Brecker, yes. Barry Finnerty on guitars. Terry Bozzio, as mentioned. Neil Jason on bass. Wow. Sammy Figueroa on percussion. Rafael Cruz on percussion. Additional musicians. Oh, okay, on the track that's not live. Wow, Bob Clearmountain on hand claps. Paul Schaefer played Rhodes on that one track, on the first track that's not live. But yeah, so it's probably Sammy Figueroa or Rafael Cruz who are playing that triangle part and later the cowbell part in the head. Okay, let's keep going. Let's listen to the rest of Michael Brecker's solo and beyond. Bass is so funky. Now listen to Brecker. He's got that wah pedal on the saxophone to make it sound like that. So expressive. Oh! Here we go. Oh. Oh my God. My heart's racing as if like I've just played what we're listening to. I mean, it gets me so excited. I'm like welling up here. It's so amazing. The pattern that Bozzio plays partway through that solo where he's using double bass and he's going I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's like a clave pattern. One, it is like, it literally is heavy metal bebop. Like that is the perfect term for what we're hearing. And Mike Brecker, just like the shape of the solo, the crescendo and the just how it peaks at a certain moment, like all those runs, that sort of those Coltrane like esque. I don't know if they're triads or if there's just whatever he's playing there is just so intense, and in the drums, Bozio and Neil Jason on bass, backing him up, and just like really just giving him all the support and just going along for the ride. And it is, there's no words for that. It's just ecstasy beyond. Okay, so now we're gonna break it down, and we're gonna see the next solo. We're gonna hear the next solo. Randy Brecker. All the percussion. Wind chimes. Oh, so funky. Randy Brecker, getting more and more intense. It's got the wop. Do that. Some kind of a chorus. Like a shaker that's with like, it's got like slapback on it. We're gonna try that. A shaker with slapback. A conga. Do the conga. Trumpet has like a harmonizer on there. Slowly building it up. Getting more and more dense. Call and response. There's that 2-3 clave. Bozio's just going for it now. No crash there. Go back to the head now. There you go, folks. Absolutely amazing. This track is just life-changing, and it was life-changing for me, and hopefully it's life-changing for you. If you've never heard it before, go download this. Go buy this record. You know, one last thing before I leave you. So in those high school years, I had this on tape, you know, after my dad was able to copy it onto a tape for me to practice and listen to. But I so badly wanted it on CD. You know, in those days it was CDs, and I was in, you know, it was like early 90s. So, and I searched and I searched and I searched, and I could not find this record, this album on CD, because at the time, and maybe even still, it was a Japanese import. But one day, if you remember, there was a store called Borders, and in fact, I think Borders is making a comeback. There was a place called Barnes & Noble, and there's another place called Borders. And I was at a Borders once, and the whole top floor, the second floor of Borders, was all CDs and music, albums, CDs, and various other things related to music. And I'm thumbing through the fusion and the jazz bins there, and I find this CD in the bin, and it's a Japanese import. It's all the writing on it is in Japanese except for the cover. And I pick it up, and I still remember it was $39.99. It was $40 for a CD, but I didn't care. I bought it right then and there, and it just solidified my whole musicianship towards this kind of music. And to this day, this album brings me so much joy. Like I said, guilty pleasure. I mean, are they overplaying? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, you know it. Oh, my gosh. Could you play like this on anywhere else? I don't know. Probably not. Not without being fired. I don't know. This was a really special band, the Brecker Brothers. And obviously they encouraged each other and supported each other to play in this style and vein. And it was... that's the sound, and I still think it's amazing, and I totally respect it. And people talk about jazz fusion, as being a negative thing, but I don't think like that at all. I'm absolutely amazed at the prowess and the talent and the virtuosity of all of these people on the record. So highly influential to me, and I just wanted to share this with you. And so moving forward, I want to do more of these. This has been a lot of fun for me, just talking to you here on camera. And I have so much more to say and so many more albums and songs to share with you, and just personal experiences that relate to the music and the drumming, of course, because that is the basis of this channel and what I do for a living, and what it is my ultimate passion in life. So there we go. I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/BrianZach for all sorts of musical content, drum lessons, career advice, etc., etc. So please head on over there, and I hope you like what you see, and join up with me there. And for drum lessons, brianzach.com. Don't be shy. Hit me up. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe. Thanks again, and see you on the next video. Put it in the books.